The MCU's improved villain quality over the past few years hasn't gone unnoticed by fans, with many of them taking the time to praise the enhanced characters in Phase 4. Reddit users have weighed in on who they think are the best villains of the current phase of the MCU. Number 5, the Mandarin. Because the villain who was introduced at the beginning of Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings was shown to not be the major antagonist by the end, the film continues to stand out as one of the most unique. Even though Wen Wu was painted as the bad guy, Shang-Chi ultimately defeated and reconciled with his father before facing the Dwellers in the Darkness in his final battle. In addition to being sympathetic, the antagonist of this tale ultimately turned out to be a grieving man rather than the villain. Number 4, Kong the Conqueror. Kong the Conqueror, also known as He Who Remains in this series, was first introduced to viewers in the Loki show. Kong wanted to establish his own timeline in which he would be the sole ruler of the realm known as the Void, which is located outside of space and time. Kong is particularly deadly because he still has unfinished business in the MCU and will stop at nothing to own his precious timeline. Fans were left in the dark by the show's confusing conclusion, unsure of how or when this meticulous antagonist would make a comeback, making him not only a foe to anticipate but also someone the incoming new Avengers should fear. Number 3, Gorr the God Butcher. Gorr the God Butcher rose to prominence as one of Thor's greatest comic book enemies in barely 10 years. Christian Bale has also elevated Gorr to the status of one of the MCU's most interesting villains. Gorr is nonetheless horrifying as he swings his necro sword, even though Love and Thunder is generally fun and lighthearted. He is, however, sympathetic. As a devastated father who has recently lost his child, you immediately feel for him when you first meet him. His reasons for wishing to destroy all gods are understandable given what he personally experienced regarding their viciousness and indifference to the suffering of mortals. In addition to giving a really spooky performance as Gorr, Bale also makes you want to cheer for him. Number 2, Scarlet Witch. The ideal type of villain is the Scarlet Witch. She's the kind of person you kind of root for, so if you've followed Wanda's adventures in all the MCU movies and WandaVision, you can appreciate the horrible losses that drove her toward the dark side. Wanda Maximoff has finally shown how strong she is as the Scarlet Witch after her terrifying heel turn in Multiverse of Madness. She is not only much stronger than she ever gave herself credit for, but she also defeats the entire Illuminati by herself, including the exceptionally powerful Charles Xavier. Elizabeth Olsen plays the role to the absolute max, displaying both sad tenderness and pure driving wrath. No one can dispute how effective she is as a villain, though some may doubt that she will ever become one again. Number 1, Green Goblin. Some fans claim that Phase 4 has shown how some legendary villains from pre-MCU films have weathered the test of time. One Redditor claims that Goblin in No Way Home could be my favorite version of the Green Goblin ever. One of Spider-Man's terrifying adversaries of all time, the Green Goblin was superbly played by Willem Dafoe in Sam Raimi's original Spider-Man trilogy. The actor's return to the part in the well-known Spider-Man movie that marked the end of the original MCU Spider-Man saga was both essential for the character's growth and a deserving send-off for one of the greatest actor-character pairings in superhero film history. Thanks for watching, subscribe for more videos.